Okay, good afternoon everybody. My name is Giuseppe Butarresi and I will present this work on the measure of fracture toughness on hydrothermally aged epoxy systems having a different cross-link density. I would like to mention some of my co-authors from the same university, Sabina Lessi, Maria Di Filippo, Michele Scafidi that is here, and Andrea Toscano. Okay, first I will give you some background about this topic. Thermoset polymer, thermoset resins generally are prone to solvent absorption. So in particular, if you have an epoxy resin, this is a thermoset resin, in a wet environment, in a hygroscopic environment, the resin starts to absorb some water, and you can see this effect by performing a gravimetric analysis, and you see that there is a relative mass change up to a plateau. That means that the water absorbed by the sample reach a saturation. Furthermore, this water inside the polymer induces some transformations in the polymer network. One effect of these transformations is a plasticization effect. We can also comment this plasticization effect by looking at the tan delta curves, which come out from a dynamic mechanical analysis. Tan delta means the ratio between storage modulus and loss modulus. As you can see here, you basically have this blue curve. This blue curve, which is the material in the not aged state, and the red curve, that is the material in the saturated stage. As you can see, the curve is moving to smaller temperatures, and the peak of the curve indicates the glass transition temperature. Basically, this broadening of the peak and this decrease of the peak temperature indicates some plasticization effects. The chain, the molecular chain is more ductile. A third effect of the water ingress in polymers is swelling of the material. We have recently applied, you can find this in this work, we have recently applied photoelastic stress analysis to monitor the internal stresses arising when the material starts to swell. And you can see here there is a slab of material, epoxy material, beam of material. Initially there are no photoelastic fringes, which means that there is a stress-free condition. As soon as we start to put the sample in water, we develop very peculiar fringes. You can have a zoom here. Basically what happens is that the border is in compression and the inner part of the material is in traction, because the border swells more than the core of the material. So what is the aim of this work? We are basically applying photoelastic stress analysis to measure, to assist the measurement of fracture toughness on single-edge notched bending samples. And we have performed this investigation on two different epoxy materials. One is a very common epoxy monomer. It's called GEPA, which stands for glycidyl heterobisphenol A. This monomer is characterized by having a very high glass transition temperature, usually above 200 degrees. Also, it has a high cross-link density, which means that it is a fairly brittle epoxy resin. The other resin that we have considered in the work is a conventional common-grade epoxy, which is able to cool at room temperature, and is able to reach only glass transition temperatures below 100 degrees. This means that there is a low cross-link density in the polymer network, which basically results in a less brittle polymer. So we use also photoelasticity to monitor the macroscopic stresses. So this is the preparation of our samples. We are following the guidelines of the ASTM and ISO standards for measuring the K1C, the fracture toughness, the critical stress intensity factor. And we use these sand samples with these dimensions, 3 millimeters thickness and a span of 32 millimeters. The samples are produced in order to be very transparent, because we need to apply photoelasticity. And also, a key factor in preparing these samples is the preparation of the crack. The crack is prepared by machining a notch with a very thin band saw with a diamond blade. And at the root of the notch, we introduce by rods of tapping a sharp crack. You can see this, the front of the crack because the material is transparent. And usually the length of this sharp crack should be at least twice the width of the notch in order to have a singular stress field effect. After we prepared the sand samples, we postured them with two different posturing cycles, and also we followed a very slow cooling to room temperature in order to relieve any initial stress from the machining and the notching of the sample. So you can see here that this slow cooling is very effective in eliminating any initial stresses, because you see here a picture of one sand sample taken in a dark field polariscope. The fact that you cannot see any fringes is because the material is stress-free. So we performed our gravimetric analysis between the commercial resin and the Jeba resin. As you can see here already we have a quite big difference. The Jeba resin is absorbing much more water because Bain is network more rigid. It has a bigger free volume, so there is more space for water to enter. While the commercial resin that has a lower cross-link density is more compact, the free volume is smaller, and the amount of water that can enter the resin is smaller as well. This is the dynamic mechanical analysis results. We have found that for the Jeba system, the aging, you see three curves here. One is taken with a not aged sample. The other one is taken after 1 week of aging, and the third one is taken after 1,300 hours. One thing I forgot to mention is that the sample is conditioned by resting in an deionized water at 50 degrees to accelerate the saturation, the achievement of the saturation. Here you see that there is a degradation of material. This is plasticization effect. While for the commercial resin, the peak temperature stays more or less at the same temperature value, which means that the glass transition temperature is not modified by the ingress of water. So let's move to the photoelastic stress analysis. We have used a dark field circular polariscope. And this is what looks like isochromatic fringe map from photoelasticity. As you can see, the presence of the crack changes quite dramatically the nature of the stress field around the crack tip. First of all, we have performed a qualitative analysis of these fringe maps, and you can follow these results of Jeba and S610 in these two rows, taken at different times. Basically, you can see that for Jeba, the initial state is stress-free. After already 40 hours of aging, there are very high stresses on the straight border and also on the crack tip. And this is the typical aspect that we found from this analysis. This very severe stress field starts to relax again as long as the water progresses towards saturation. When saturation is reached, we regain a completely stress-free situation, because basically these stresses arise from the non-uniform swelling of the material. Something that was very interesting to notice is the different behavior when we consider the low cross-linked density polymer. Basically, we do not observe any severe fringes at the crack tip. We explained this behavior as if the water is not able to penetrate through the flanks of the crack, and there is no particular stress arising at the crack tip, but only around the edges of the notch. So you have fringes on the straight edge, fringes on the notch root, but no fringes at the crack tip, which was very strange to find compared with the JEBA system. As long as the water enters further entering the material and evolve towards saturation, we start to see something rising at the crack tip. And we explain this behavior by thinking that water starts to penetrate the crack and start to penetrate the material through the crack tip. And the stress that is generated here is basically compression stresses. But we will see this in a few slides. Okay, we also have performed a quantitative evaluation of stresses by using a technique that is called tardy phase shifting method. I cannot give you details of this technique because of time, but basically this technique is able to quantify this quantity, sigma x minus sigma epsilon, in the ligament section of the sample, which means basically in this section here. You can see here the result of this tardy phase shifting analysis, and you can see, for instance, the thick black curves for JEBA indicates that there is compression near the straight edge. Then the black fringe means the zero stress. And as we move near the crack tip, we have mainly traction stress. So we think that in order to equilibrate this stress state, in the wake of the crack, we have a compression because somehow the area under this curve must be zero because they are internal stresses, so they cannot be. And this is happening just behind the crack tip. Regarding the SX10, the situation is quite different. We have almost zero stresses along the ligament, but we have some compression at the crack tip. If we focus on one point of this ligament, very close to the crack tip, we have these stresses. Basically, we have the JEBA that reach a very high traction stress, almost 15 megapascal, then it goes to zero with the time, while the SX10 develops compression. Okay, let's see now the results of the fracture toughness test. For the JEBA system, we have found out that after 1 week time, the K1C has grown quite dramatically. It's almost double the initial figure, the initial fracture toughness. And we explained this by explaining the compression stresses in the wake of the crack that must equilibrate the stress field. So basically, the stress field here is responsible for this increase in toughness. The fracture toughness measured at saturation, which means when there is again a stress-free situation, indicates an increase of fracture toughness. And we explain this final increase as an effect of the plasticization induced by the water penetration. But of course, in order to decouple the influence of the stress and the influence of the plasticization, photoelasticity was very effective in guiding us to these conclusions. The last slide shows the result for the SX10. For the SX10, the fracture toughness is is higher than JEBA because it's a less brittle epoxy, but it doesn't change as much as JEBA. The value is almost constant within the first week, and it increases a little bit at saturation. And we explain this increase by these compression stresses that start to evolve at the crack tip. So basically, conclusions from this study: photoelasticity has proven to be a very effective technique to monitor the swelling stresses induced by the diffusion process of water. The stress field induced by swelling is influenced by the presence of cracks and by the nature of the polymer network. And for JEBA, the microscopic stresses do not affect fracture toughness at saturation, and the measured increase is due to plasticization. While for the SX10, the fracture toughness is observed to slightly increase, and this is due to microscopic stresses arising at ahead of the crack tip and on the wake of the crack. Thanks for your attention.